Okay gang, this is my take on the Glock 43. I've been getting a lot of requests from people on the Vickers Tactical Facebook page to give you my 2 cents on the Glock 43. Finally got one, was able to get some trigger time on it, and I brought some other guns out here to kind of give you a compare and contrast. First off, here's the Glock 19. Now this happens to be the Lipsy's Vickers Tactical Edition, which is now sold out, but understand something. You're always going to be better off if you can manage a gun like a Glock 19 versus either one of these 2 smaller platforms. They're easier to shoot and they hold more rounds. It's that simple. For the average person, the Glock 19 is going to be dramatically easier to shoot than a smaller, slimmer single stack or more or less single stack 9mm like either one of these 2. So you need to understand that right off the bat. You have to look at your concealed carry requirements and what exactly are you using the pistol for. And if you can get by with a Glock 19, which is just a little bit bigger, not dramatically so, than the Glock 43, you're going to be better off. Now, of course, we have the Glock 43 here in the middle, and we have the gun that, in my opinion, is really the one you got to do a compare and contrast with the Glock 43, the Smith&Wesson Shield. Not so much the Glock 42. Granted, it's a little bit smaller, but it's a 380. We're talking about small concealable 9mm, and really the Shield is the gun that I compare the 43 to. Right off the bat, myself, law enforcement buddy of mine, the crew have all shot these things out here, and we all agree unanimously we would take the Shield over the 43. It's a softer shooting gun, bottom line. In addition to the fact it holds more bullets. In this format, you have the somewhat extended magazine over here, 9 rounds. And the 43, as you see it, is 7 rounds. And of course, in the Glock 19 is 16 rounds with 1 in the chamber. And also, essentially the layout of the Glock 43 makes it where it's much more difficult to reload under stress. And understand something, you only got 7 rounds in a gun, you're gonna be a lot more likely to need to reload. And it's so small, even for typical size hands, it's difficult to manage dropping the magazine and reloading it. That's something you need to take into account. Also, for whatever reason, recoil characteristic wise, when I fire the gun, and we all had the same problem, we get a bite on the bottom of our finger. It's a nasty little gun to shoot. So it's one of those guns you're gonna carry it, hoping that you never need it. But I'm confident the gun will go bang when you need it to, and it's certainly more than adequate for the given task. But I would tell you, all right, and I'm sure I'm not alone, before you decide to go with one of these, you need to check out the Shield. Softer shooting gun, and it's my pick. Now, I get questions also, the Vickers Tactical Glock parts that are made by Tango Down, will they interchange with the Glock 43? Now, myself and Tango Down came out with a set of parts for the G42, which is the 380 smaller brother and predecessor to the G43. Slide stop, base plates, and mag catch. Of these 3 components, the only one that is reverse compatible to a G43 is the slide stop. We have base plates in the works for the G43, but they're not on the market at this time. In addition, Wilson Combat is working on Vickers Elite sights for the G42 and the G43. So to recap, remember, if you can carry a gun like the Glock 19, which is just a little bit bigger, you're going to be a lot better off. And also, I would urge you, even Glock fanboys out there, before you buy into a G43, make sure you try the Shield. In my opinion, a much more shootable gun. And we've got parts coming for the G43 and the Vickers Tactical line. Currently, our slide stop will fit on this from the G42. Okay, one of the things you got to factor in anytime you're buying a new Glock, if it has the plastic factory sights, you got to replace them. Not only are they plastic, they actually have a terrible sight picture. There's not enough light in the rear sight notch for the front sight, and the front dot is cut off when you have the proper sight picture, and it forces especially newer shooters to have that dot slightly elevated. Bottom line, they're not very good sights, and you got to factor in the cost of replacing them. Whether they're the Vickers sights from Wilson's or somebody else, you got to have good sights on your Glock. Okay, I can tell you, as you shoot this gun more, you can kind of control that little finger bite in terms of the bottom of the trigger guard, but it's still there. If you go out and shoot a lot of rounds through this thing on, say, a heavy-duty practice day, you're definitely going to notice it. Okay, and the other thing is, as you saw in my demonstration, when you go to reload one of these, the fact that the magazine does not protrude below the bottom of your hand is an issue when you drop the mag. So you're going to have to compromise your grip dramatically in order to drop the magazine. Bottom line, guns this size, whether it be this one or the Smith & Wesson Shield, you're going to be much better off with a gun like a Glock 19 if you can live with that size pistol. Make sure you check this out, get some trigger time behind one before you buy it. That's my advice. Hope that was informative. Continue to send your comments in to YouTube, Full30, and Facebook. We're paying attention. Have a good one. Hey, thanks for watching the VIckers Tactical YouTube channel. To subscribe, click here. And to watch some of my favorite videos, click here. Have a good one. LAV out.